Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get on Dan Garber. Today we're predicting the rematch between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol for the undisputed light heavyweight titles. And yes, pleasure getting you on as always, Dan. I appreciate your time.
Oh, cheers for having us on again.
Yeah, and well, some card, probably the fight. Well, arguably the best card of the century. You've got. We'll start with the light heavyweight WBO interim world title between Joshua Buatsi 19-0 against Callum Mundo Smith 30-2. Talk about this fight. I'll let you start, Dan.
I right. So obviously, Boatsi's the favourite in this fight, but I'm gonna go for Callum Smith in this fight as a bit of an outsider. Uh, as good as Boatsi is, I don't know. I've never really been sold on him as a professional. He always does enough just to win, basically, when he fights. Callum Smith's he's been there and done it before, and he's got massive amounts of experience and it's a bit of a must-win fight for him as well. So I can see. Yeah, I'm going to go with Smith on this one. To be honest with
Do
you,
you feel like the pressure's on Callum in this fight? Because if Buatsi loses, you wouldn't really say it's the end of the road. But if Callum, however, gets beat, you would sort of say it's a long way
yeah,
back for him.
it's probably a long way back for where he wants to be. Yeah, for the kind of money that he's wanting to be earning. There'll be still fights there for him, but yeah, it's going to be a long way back to get to that level that he's been at. With the guys, he's had some massive fights on it. Likes of Canelo, etc., and things like that. This is another big fight for him. He's been there and done it before. He's been a world champion before, and he's got that experience. He's been on the big cards. He's fought away from home. Uh, Buatsi, like I say, he's always done enough to win. I don't think I wouldn't say he's massively been tested, but I think he's just. I don't know. I've never really been. He's very good. Don't get me wrong. I've just never been completely sold on him when I've been watching him. He just seems to do enough to win all the time. So yeah, I'm going to go with Smith as an outside bet for this one.
And are you favouriting Callum? Do you think Callum's got the ability to perhaps stop Buatsi? And well, personally, I believe Callum Smith's going to be the hardest hitter that Buatsi's come up against.
Yeah, 100% he is. I mean, he was. I think obviously he was a big super middle, wasn't he? And he stayed at that weight for a long time. Obviously, he's moved up now. Obviously, he's filled out more. He doesn't have to worry about making the weight as much now. So that's something that he don't have to worry about. And yeah, it definitely is going to be the biggest puncher that he's faced. I think. I don't think he's going to stop Boatsi. But yeah, I think it's going to be a technical, cagey fight, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm going to go for Smith to nick it just with his experience.
I mean, I'm favouriting Buatsi. I think again, as you said, he always finds a way just
Yeah,
to sort of nick it. I mean, even in these
yeah,
close fights, he always just has that little bit more in the. I think it was against Aziz where it was sort of a close fight up until the knockdowns where I think he had maybe two or three knockdowns in that fight.
yeah.
But when he went into those back end rounds, he really took over. I can see this sort of being a bit of a chess match. Of course, Callum's got the reach of has Callum got the reach advantage over Buatsi?
I think there's not much in him, is there? I think Callum Smith's 6'3", the Boatsi's around 6'2", I think. So there's not going to be much in the reach, to be honest with you. But it's just like I say, it's just that experience that Smith's had. He's been there and done it. I know he didn't really perform against Canelo, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but
Uh,
he's only
but
lost to Canelo and Beterbiev, so no shame in those.
well, no, exactly. Losing to Beterbiev and Canelo, it's two pound for pound guys who are in, top five pound for pound lists. So no, you can't really. There's no shame there. But I don't know. Is it? There's people probably going to be saying he's past his best and stuff like that. They always do when you've had a loss, but his losses have been to the elite. And Boatsi's never boxed at this level as a professional fighter. Obviously, I know he went to the Olympics, got a bronze medal, but that's amateur boxing. This is professional boxing now. Smith's been there and seen it all.
Yeah, I just think Buatsi will have a little bit more in the tank when it gets to the later rounds. I think it'll be, it'll be a close fight. Be Some people, don't like the sweet science of the sport when it's two good boxers battles of the jab. But sometimes the best fights are actually the chess matches.
They are, yeah. It depends. I mean, obviously, you get your armchair fans who just want to see blood, don't they? They want to see an all-out war. But for your real boxing fans, they do like the strategy and the chess matches and the cat and mouse of it. And I think that's what it's probably going to be at times until one of them does find their range and then explodes. Because they can both punch. There's no two ways about it,
But
and they
they've
are
both
big
got a good
guys.
chin and a strong defense as well. So
Oh yeah, of course they have. But I think this is where we're going to see is Boazzi the real deal. This is his first proper test now. He's
I mean, he
obviously
has
he's way
beaten Craig
domestic.
Richards, Willie Hutchinson, but they're not like of the caliber of Callum Smith.
No, he's beat very good domestic level fighters in Dan Aziz and Craig Richards, and he's way beyond that level,
Yeah,
obviously.
and he's
But now,
shown that as well because
yeah,
quite dominant against Hutchinson, and towards the back end of the fight against Aziz, really showed levels.
yeah. I mean, Hutchinson is a good fighter. I mean, I was surprised with scorecards how close they had that. I think it a majority decision win for him or a split
I
decision.
think it might be, but with these judges,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it when I saw the scorecards. I thought he won it hands down. To be fair, but yeah, Willie Hutchinson is a good fighter. I'd put him above Dan Aziz and Craig Richards. But
because Willie
Callum
beat
Simpson,
Craig, and didn't he?
yeah, Callum Simpson's a level above all these guys. To be fair, so we'll see if he's the real deal or not. Now, Callum Smith's been there and done that. But he's done it in the past with guys like George Groves.
But the
He's
thing is,
been
I
at the
think
top level.
most of these fights that we're going to speak about in a minute, again, it's a toss of the coin, really.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what the bookies have got them as, the favorite. I mean, they've got the favourites. I think the only one that I'm proper sold on in this one, which will come at later, is the Hamza Sheeraz one. Uh, I think he's going to do a number on his opponent. To be honest with you, I do rate that kid. But
Yeah.
the other ones, yeah, you don't. They could go either way. Uh, like I said, Boaz is the favourite for this one, but I'm going to go as an outside bet, and I will be having a few bets on weekend on him. But I'm going to go Callum. Yeah, I'm going to go Callum Smith. I keep saying Callum Simpson, but yeah, I'm going Callum Smith.
Yeah, so you're going Smith on points, aren't you? You said,
Yeah,
and I'm going to go Buatsi on a tight points win.
okay.
The next fight we'll talk about. What about the big the heavyweight, one of the big heavyweight fights, because there's two big heavyweight fights. The WBC, it's for the WBC interim title, this one. Big Bang Zhang, 27 2-1, the Caballero, who's 25 and 0. Talk about this fight. I think this is just going to be a cracking fight, this one.
It's an hard one to pick. This one. I mean, Zhang's very dangerous, but I've always said his biggest win was Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce were unbeaten. He beat Dubois, he beat Parker, and hands down that were his biggest win. Before that, Zhang had struggled with Jerry Forrest in a split decision draw. And really, he probably got outboxed, and you could have argued Forrest deserved to beat him.
Mm.
So,
He's come on leaps and bounds though from that fight. I mean,
I don't know if it's. I wouldn't say it's come on. I wouldn't say it's leaps and bounds. The thing with Zhang is, styles make fights. I've always said that, especially at world level as well. The, the the best athlete or the best boxers don't always win. Some guys struggle with other guys' the styles, etc., things like that. You only have to look at like Mayweather, an elite boxer, but he struggled with a guy like Castillo, and he struggled with Maidana to an extent as well, even though he did beat him. But styles do make fights, and you look at the guys like them guys had been beat by in the past, nowhere near as good as what Floyd Mayweather was. Now this is what you've got with Zhang. you got him fighting somebody like Joe Joyce who are walking through everybody, but you can only drop a tin can so many times before it gets a dent put in it. And the way Joe Joyce fights, with no defence, and he just comes forward, relying on that chin, it
Mm.
was only a matter of time before he's going to get exposed. And he'd never been in with a man that big before.
I mean, he
And it's the
fought
first time
Parker though, didn't he? Joyce.
he did. He did fight Parker, but Joe Parker's not a puncher at world level. If
Yeah.
you look at his last 11 fights, he's only had 3 stoppage
Yeah, because he
wins.
hadn't really been in there with a puncher. That's what you meant.
Yeah, and if you look at Zhang, he's 6'6" and over 20 stone, and that's the first time that Joe Joyce has been backed up in a fight and being on the back foot. First fight, he got stopped with a swollen eye, but obviously Zhang's a southpaw. He just couldn't get used to it.
He
The
just couldn't
second
miss
fight,
that left hand, could he?
not at all. The second fight, he absolutely took him to pieces, and it was shocking to see him go down like he did. The right hook, but his the way he fights, it was tailor made for Zhang.
Yeah.
But then you've got Joe Joyce who's gone and fought Chisora and got put on his ass against Chisora as well. So I don't know if he'd maybe
What
is he
about when Zhang fought Deontay Wilder? Of course, that's his most recent fight.
Wilder is shot to pieces though. Absolutely shot to pieces. Now Wilder has not changed his style. Don't get me wrong, people say Wilder can't box, but you don't win an Olympic bronze medal if you can't box. You
Yeah.
don't win. You don't win. I think he won 2 national titles in America, US nationals and Golden Gloves. You don't win them if you can't box. Now Wilder was never this knockout merchant in amateurs. If you look at the Olympics, he won all his fights on points. So
Mm.
obviously, there's boxing ability there. I mean, he qualified for Olympics after 20 fights as an amateur. The only other guy I can think of doing that was George Foreman. So for him to do that so quick, obviously he has got some talent. But when he's turned professional, obviously he stepped up. He was a cruiserweight as an amateur. He's gone to an heavyweight. He's got this right hand. Obviously, he's been knocking people spark out left, right, and centre, and he's never changed his style.
Mm.
When he's got done by Fury in the fights, obviously he's not a big heavyweight. He's Wilder either. He's
Mm.
gangly. He's six foot
He's
seven. He only
naturally a cruiser, isn't he, though, Wilder?
Yeah, 100%. He's a cruiserweight. Yeah. I mean, first Fury fight, he came in at 14 stone 12, which is mad for a man at 6'7". And then he were like 15 and a half. He came in at 17 stone and he couldn't carry the weight. But them fights have took it out of him, and it's shown in his performances since. I mean, he came back against Hellenius. Actually, Hellenius was just a setting target. He did him with a right hand. I think he just turned up for a payday. When you've put him in with Parker and Zhang, he's not through a punch at all. He looked lost. He
Mm.
looked like he didn't want to be there.
Gun shy, wasn't he?
100%. And I think especially when you get done at that level,
Do you
it
just
happens.
think those Fury fights really took it out of him?
I think they have. I mean, my uncle told me when, obviously my uncle fought Lennox Lewis, and he got done badly in the first round.
Mm.
And he said he was never the same again. He said it makes you gun shy when you get knocked out bad, especially as an heavyweight as well. And I think that's happened now with Wilder. I think he's shot to
Yeah,
pieces.
so you don't rate that as like a good win for Zhang?
No, no. His best win is Joe Joyce. The Wilder fight was just Wilder was just it was that I was shocked watching him. It was terrible to watch. You were
It
all
was
over.
sad to see as well.
It was sad to see, yeah. And I think the writing's on the wall. He should pack in now, but obviously he's coming back. There's still money to be made for him. He's got that name. And Zhang did what Parker should have done. And yeah, he sparked him. Now you've got this Cabial who's first on. He was another one. I first saw him when he boxed Derek Chisora. He beat Chisora over in Monte Carlo.
Did he
Chisora,
beat Chisora on points? Was it?
he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Chisora was shocking that night. Just didn't turn up at all. It was for European title. Now he's always been hovering around fringe world level for years as Cabial. Then he had that breakout fight against the Mac. Is it Mac
That
Madov or
Mudov,
something? Yeah,
that was on the day of reckoning.
yeah, he did. He stopped him. Obviously, that would have, because this Mac Madov was a big guy, big powerhouse, but he's been done himself by the Italians since then as well. That Villano
Yeah,
was fighting
Vinialo, yeah.
Torres, yeah. So, and then we started seeing him against Frankie Sanchez, the Cuban guy. Sanchez were a favourite, I think, going into that fight, but
Yeah.
he
I mean,
turned
he's
up. He
been
didn't.
underdog in going into the Mudder fight
Yeah,
and the fight
yeah.
v Sanchez, and each time his out
He's rose.
his
Yeah,
punch output.
yeah. He's rose. He's rose to it. I mean, Zhang. He's been in with it. I thought he was unlucky against Ergovic.
I thought he was
Uh,
robbed that night, but
yeah, I thought he beat Ergovic. I'm gonna go. I know Zhang's 42. I wouldn't say it. He lost when he lost to Parker. He lost that fight himself. He ran out of
yeah,
steam. He
what he
dropped him
did was
twice.
he dropped Parker twice, but
Yeah,
even he just let Parker got back
he
up,
let him
and they
off.
were and they were good shots as well. Don't get me wrong, that put him down. And if he
He let him
jumped
off
on
the up.
him,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
he could have. But as you know, he's not the fastest of people, is he?
He ain't got the fastest of feet. I mean, he's got a fast left. He's got a very fast left hand when he whips that in.
Yeah.
But uh, Cabial, I wouldn't say is a devastating puncher. Is I'm gonna go for Zhang in this fight.
I personally think this is a fight where it could go either way. They've both got good punch output. I think this can be a bit of a tear up, but this time once Zhang tags him, you have to
Yeah,
go for it because Caballero
yeah.
is
And Zhang's
tough.
obviously is a big man. Is Zhang. When you've got someone who's coming forward like he's going to come forward, I think as well. It's an hard night for anyone, to be honest with you. But then I get if Zhang has to win this fight as well. He's 42 now, I think.
Yeah, this
So
the must win. But Caballero, he has shined on these occasions, and I believe Zhang. It's left hand v the bodywork. It's whoever gets going first. I think if Zhang starts, but Caballero needs to start early as well. They both need a bright start. You can't really,
yeah,
well, or you can Caballero try and lean on
I think
Zhang, try
I
and
won't. I
tire
won't
him
try.
out to the later
I won't.
rounds.
I won't try lean on that. I wouldn't try lean on that Zhang. I
No, no,
mean,
that's not a
he's
good
over.
idea. I shouldn't have
He's
said
over.
that.
He's over 20. I mean, I think you were 20. I think you were what were 290 pounds or something
Against
against Wilder.
Wilder, and Wilder was only what 214, something 15.
Something
Oh
stupid
yeah,
like
that's not a good
yeah.
idea. What I mean was, you need to try and make move
You need to use your feet against somebody like Zhang, yeah, and use the angles.
because I reckon Zhang. Would you say what he's got maybe 5 or 6 rounds at maximum, and then he's a bit.
He starts to yeah, he's very dangerous obviously for like them first five rounds or so. He does start to slow down a bit. I mean, he
Do you
dropped
think
Parker.
Caballero will try and take the back foot in this fight?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to. I think it'd be a bad decision to meet him head on straight away. To be honest with
Yeah, because if he
you,
tries and pushes Zhang back, I can see him walking into because Zhang he doesn't look the fastest, but he can still whack that left hand over quite fast. You can't really see that coming.
no, I mean physically he's very strong as
And,
well.
and I would say at the minute he's probably the hardest hitter in the heavyweights.
I wouldn't, well, I wouldn't put it. Yeah, you've got. I mean, he's got an
Well, he's
argument.
up there.
Definitely, yeah, definitely up there with hardest punches. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's an anybody who fights Zhang, it's an hard night. You're gonna have to be you're gonna have to be really fit. Um, Parker had a game plan. You know, Parker's very explosive and very quick.
Very
Uh,
elusive.
yeah, he is. When you tag him, sometimes he goes into a bit of a shell. Uh, but it was a close fight that night. It probably could have gone either way, to be honest with
I
you.
think though, if you take away those knockdowns
Yeah,
in that
you'd say,
Zhang
yeah.
Parker fight, then I think it would have been wider. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, with the two knockdowns,
And
yeah.
Parker was still the deserved winner.
Yeah, he was. Uh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Zhang for this one.
I'm gonna. I think it because I think they both can take a bit of punishment and they will be able to take a bit of damage. But I think eventually, I think maybe round six because I think if it goes past six and it goes to the seven, the eight, the nine, then I think that's all Caballero's territory and that's where you let your shots go. I think he should try and drag Zhang past six because Zhang's just going to be swinging from the get go because that's just Zhang. But I can see
Yeah,
him.
I think we,
he'll catch
I think with
Caballero
that,
coming in with a left
yeah,
hand, and I reckon he'll actually knock him out as well.
it won't surprise me if he does knock him out. Yeah, the thing with Zhang is he's good at measuring the distance. Now, if you're going to fight someone, he's got that Olympic pedigree as well. You know, a massive amateur pedigree. I think did he win two bronze medals at Olympics? I'm sure he medaled twice. He went to two Olympic
Yeah,
games and medaled
he fought
twice.
AJ though, didn't he? In
He
one of
did,
them.
yeah. He got dropped in one of them fights. He went in semi-finals, yeah.
Mm.
Uh, if you're gonna, you have got to use your feet, but you've also, I'd have him stay close to him in a way and not let Zhang, because Zhang's at his best when he's at range. When you're
Mm.
close to a man, it's hard for him and them to whip them shots in Zhang's left hand.
He
You
needs to
see,
try and sit on his chest though late
he
on.
does, yeah, he does, yeah. He needs to make, and
Or
obviously,
I mean, he could try and, but if he meets him in the center early doors, that's all Zhang.
yeah, 100%.
But I am saying Zhang round number six by a devastating left hand, but don't write Caballero out because I, it's a good fight and it could really go either way.
Yeah, Caballero's the favourite with bookies to win as well.
Yeah, I'm seeing
Uh,
loads of people favouriting Caballero in this one. I don't blame them, and I see he's on good momentum against Frank Sanchez and Makhmudov, but they're
yeah,
not the again quality
no,
of Zhang in my opinion.
no, I don't think they are either.
But they're good
And even
wins for
though,
him. Don't get me wrong.
yeah, and even though Zhang's obviously knocking on a little bit, he's still fresh. He's a big man as well, and he ain't got many miles on clock as Zhang. He turned pro pretty late, so yeah, I'm gonna go for Zhang to beat him. Will he stop him? I don't know.
Can you
I'm gonna
really?
go for a.
I can't see Zhang getting a points win to be honest.
It depends how them first 5 rounds go, don't they? To be honest with you,
Yeah.
but we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me if he does stop him. Definitely, it's hard enough to stop him. But Caballero, I don't know. We haven't seen him in the. We've not seen a lot of Caballero apart from these two wins that he's had, obviously.
Mm.
Uh, I don't think he looks anything spectacular. I mean, when he fought Chisora, I thought Chisora threw it away, really. Uh, so you could argue, yeah, your prediction of stopping him is right. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Zhang, a late stoppage.
Hmm. What you thinking? Maybe 9-10 sort of thing, or?
Or his corner pull him out. Yeah.
Hmm. We're both going Zhang stoppage in that fight. Next up, we'll go WBC World Lightweight title. Shakur Stevenson v Schofield. Somebody's those got to go. Thoughts on that fight? I mean, I can personally. I think
So,
Schofield will do better than people think, but not. I still think there's Shakur's gonna
yeah,
win on
he's gonna get.
unanimous decision in this one.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna. It'd be technically he's far too good for him. Yeah, he's gonna box his head off. To be honest with you, I think there's only one winner in that fight.
Do you think that's the, would you say probably the, not in the rude way, but in the easier fight to predict on the card?
Yeah, 100%. That one and the Hamza Sheeraz fight.
Oh, we'll get onto that right now then. Again, that's for the WBC. This time the world middleweight title. Adams 24-1, Shiraz 21-0. I'll let you start. Did you think Hamza Shiraz on this one then?
Yeah, all day long. To be honest with you, I mean, he's absolutely massive for the way his confidence is only growing and growing with each fight. Uh, yeah, I can see him stopping him. To be fair, don't see him staying in that weight division too long either. I think he'll win that world title, defense for two, and he'll move up to super middleweight straight away. Probably do the same there. I really rate him, to be honest with you. Yeah. And then you never know, it might be looking at him against Callum Simpson in the future as well, which would be a great fight.
At the minute, I think Shiraz is a bit above Simpson, if I'm honest.
100%. 100%, yeah. I'm just saying, when he does step up, it's a fight that could be there,
Oh
especially on the
yeah.
Callum ranking as well. Now that I think he's in what is he, number 12 with WBA, possibly
You
top
expect
10.
Simpson to probably get a European shot next or something.
Well, I think Jeffers is fighting for European next because they've both got the same manager, so he's trying to keep them both happy. Callum's got the British and Commonwealth, so Jeffers wants that fight, so he's trying to
Do
get
you
him.
not
But
think they'll? Do you feel they'll try and make Mark Jeffers v Simpson for a world title then?
I don't see it being for a world title just yet. No, I think they'll do it domestically, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think Shiraz is this kid is very 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 good.
He
Uh,
knocks people out with his jab, though, doesn't he? Have you seen
well,
the amount of people he's knocked down with his jab?
he's 6 foot. What is he? 6'3", 6'4". You know, he
Yeah.
looks absolutely huge in the ring. Uh, only time I what it him who had the fight with Bradley Skeet when he hit him when he were on the floor. It
Yeah.
was, wasn't it? Yeah, I
I
mean,
thought he
yeah,
was losing that one as well, but I mean, he's
yeah, yeah. That's the only time I've questioned it a little bit. I was like, "Oh, is he as good as what people are making out?
yeah,
Is
but
he,
and then
sort of
since
thing?"
then,
And then, yeah, he's just yeah,
he's kicked on big time.
yeah. That's what I mean. 100%. He's kicked on massively.
And
Yeah,
the amount, he steamrolled Willie Ammo. His jab. He's got an incredible reach advantage. Uh, Sharp backhand. He can. The thing is, he sets his punches up nice, and he lands good combinations. He can box as well at range. He can come in close. He can do a bit of everything. Um,
yeah,
Personally, has his chin been tested as of yet? Because I don't really think Ammo got a great. Didn't really get much. He was more targeting the body. He hadn't really had that big one on his chin, and I think Adames he will be a bit. It'll be a harder fight than people expect. He needs to break
yeah.
Hamza down to the body, but I'm
I
not sure
mean,
he'll be able to get in range of Hamza. That's the thing.
no. I mean, he's got. I mean, this Shiraz, you can just tell he lives the life. I mean, he sets all his camps up in America. He's with what's his trainer called now? What's his name? He would have fighter himself. Oh, he trained. Oh God, I forgot his name. It's going to annoy me. Is this?
Oh, look it up here quickly.
They're a well-known family. I think he was IBF champion himself.
Hamza Shiraz trainer. Oh, it's not coming up. Hmm. Yeah, I can't. Hang on. No, I can't seem to find it.
Yeah, I forget what he's
Are you
called, but
predicting another Shiraz KO in this one?
yeah, yeah. I think I could see him. I could see him doing it inside 5 or 6 rounds. He lives the life. You know, he sets his camps up in America. Uh, he's there for 8 to 10 weeks. He's really on it. I mean, we can say that. You know, oh, we haven't seen his chin tested yet, uh, but the they're going to the level of sparring that he's going to be getting. There's no doubt it's going to get tested in sparring, so
Hmm.
they're going to know what he can take. But yeah, I think he's a special talent, to be honest with you. And yeah, I think he'll put on a dominant performance in that fight.
Yeah, I can see Shiraz probably. I'm gonna say he'll probably beat him up, show a bit of his skills as well. But Adams, I think he'll just frustrate Adams. I think Adams will try and get a good start, but I just can't see him get. I think he'll do a bit better than people think, but I just think overall Shiraz will be too much for him and force a stoppage, maybe round 9, and get a late stoppage, and yeah, hopefully Britain have a new world champion.
Well, that's it. Yeah, 100%. I think they will. I'm pretty shocked if they don't. Anyway, but yeah, I can't see it being any other way really. To be honest, yeah, I think Shearer puts on a dominant performance and stops him.
Yeah, I can see Shiraz round 9. Yeah, we haven't said the Virgil Ortiz Madrimov fight yet, have we? I don't
No, we
think we
haven't said
have.
that one. No, we haven't. No, we haven't. No, that one's a fit. No, that's a 50-50 fight. To be honest with you,
That's a toss of the coin. I personally think that we always get a controversial decision.
Yeah,
And I think this is the fight where I think might be a bit controversial.
yeah. This is the fight compared to the other ones. It's probably not got as much attention
I
compared to the
think
other
I'm
fight.
personally I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it will be a good fight. I just don't think obviously the other ones there's just more attention around the other ones. Uh, it's like I say, this one really is a 50-50 fight. I mean, it could go either way. I'd go with I don't know, possibly Ortiz on points.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, but I think Madrimov he'll do the sharper work and he'll do the better boxing. But I think Ortiz will be landing the more eye-catching shots on the
Oh,
judges. So it could
yeah,
be a bit questionable when it goes to the later rounds where Ortiz might end the fight strong the last two, 3 rounds, and they go, oh, Ortiz because of he's more eye-catching, but Madrimov will probably take most of them on the gloves anyway, and I can see Madrimov sort of getting robbed. He had a very close fight with Bud Crawford, and
yeah,
I can see him just doing a little bit more than Ortiz, a bit more sharper with his jab than Ortiz, and I can see him getting robbed. But I am saying Ortiz will probably get a split decision, very controversial.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go Ortiz points on this one.
Are you saying a close points win?
Oh yeah, yeah. But I think it's going to be very, very close. Yeah, but I'd back Ortiz.
Do you just think he's a bit more? Yeah,
Just as a professional, probably just a bit more seasoned as a professional and stuff. I think the other kids only had is it only had 11 fights or something like
well,
that.
yeah, 12, but
But yeah, obviously they have these big amateur careers and stuff like that. You get people like Lomachenko and Usyk who come to pros, but he's not really. He's not at their. He's a very very good fighter, but he's not at their level. Do you know what I mean? Ortiz, yeah, he's a bit more seasoned as a professional, so I'd go with Ortiz.
hmm and of course the main two fights this time for the IBF World Heavyweight title between Daniel Dynamite Dubois and Joseph Parker. This one's going to be a great fight. It's going to hopefully the styles gel well. And
Yeah,
yeah, talk about this fight. I'll let you start with it.
so
What puncher the
I
boxer?
thought about this. I thought about this one loads, and it, Parker has got a style where yeah, he can look good and flashy and snappy, etc. And against Zhang, yeah, it can look good. Against Wilder, it looked good. Wilder didn't throw a shot at all, a punch all night.
Mm.
You've got to remember, it wasn't that long ago. He beat Jack Massey on points a couple of years ago, and people were saying Parker's finished. It looked terrible that night.
Even in the
Uh,
Simon Keane fight in October on the Fury and Ngannou card, there were still questions of him.
so what? And then he boxed over in his own country against I forget the kid's name now.
Thinking, was it
That's
Opolu?
yeah, Offaloo, that's it, yeah. And against the guy, he should be blowing out pretty easy.
Yeah, it was
But
Opolu.
what's put people back into it now is against Zhang and Wilder, but I don't look into his performance against Wilder. The thing with Parker is Parker's got miles on the clock. I know he's only 32, but he has been in some tough fights. And the thing with Parker is when he gets tagged, he goes into a bit of a shell at times when he does get tagged when it ain't going his own way. And the thing with Dubois is he's 27-year-old. His confidence is sky high. You've got to think he's 27. He's been in with Joyce when nobody really wanted to fight Joyce when he was like 22-year-old. He's been in with Usyk. A lot of people say he deserved to win over that controversial knockdown. He's been in with Ergovic. He's been in
And
with Joshua.
Hergovic was being avoided as well before that. Not many
He
people
was.
wanted to fight him.
I mean, he stopped Miller, he stopped Ergovic, and he's absolutely flattened Joshua. Now, his
Mm.
confidence is going to be sky high.
He's coming off
And
3 knockouts, isn't he?
I mean, he's a massive, massive puncher, a huge puncher. And he proved against Joshua, he took some shots. And against Hergovic, he took right hands all night. and he were walking through them, and he looks like he's got a different mentality. People used to question his mentality, and I was one of them. I remember when he fought Kevin Lorena, and he went down 3 times. I mean, he
Yeah.
said he had a knee injury in first round. I mean, he were taking a knee when he wasn't even getting hit. But his mental state seems to have changed now. There's like a different focus about him. And I thought, yeah, Dubois, Parker, does he outbox him? But he's going to get tagged eventually in that fight. And the thing with Dubois is he's one of the best finishers in that division. When he gets you hurt and
Yeah,
he
because
smells
what
blood.
I've been thinking is, the fact Zhang had him on the floor. If the boy gets him like how Zhang did, I just think he'll jump on him, and he's quicker than
Yeah.
Zhang as well. Dubois, he's more. Would you say he's more spiteful than Zhang?
He really does. He does hit at yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't. Yeah, I'd say he is. I mean, he's a massive, massive puncher. 21 knockouts and
I
22
do.
wins.
I am
And he's
expecting Parker to take a sort of similar approach to how he did with Zhang and Wilder, though.
100%. Yeah, he's not gonna. I can't see him wanting to stand there and have a shootout with him, because if he does that, he's gonna get knocked out. He's gonna try box him. But Dubois got a very, very good jab. He's got a ramrod jab as well. He's got a really good jab, and he's got good balance. And if you watch Dubois when he
He
boxes, if you
snapped
watch,
AJ's head back with his jab. Hergovich, his jab's really sharp, Dubois, at the
if,
minute, and
if
I think he needs to sort of start how he started against AJ. He needs that sort of
oh,
start again.
I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to come out fast. The thing with Dubois as well, if you watch his
He
how he
can't
stands
let
his feet.
Parker get in his rhythm like how he did against Wilder and Zhang.
No,
He can't let that happen.
no. If you watch him,
Because
if you watch his feet as well.
if he lets Parker get his jab going and he lets him get in his rhythm early, it'll be hard to get Joseph Parker out that rhythm.
Oh yeah, of course it will. But I think he'll catch up with him. I think he'll catch up with him eventually. And
Eventually, I reckon.
I think this thing with Parker at the minute, it's a bit of false bravado about him. To be honest with you, I don't look at the Wilder performance at all. I think any European level fighter would have beat Wilder. Well, any good domestic British level fighter would have beat Wilder that night. So I don't really look at that too much. And if you watch Dubois when he fights, he's always in his feet. He's always positioned ready to punch, always to throw power punches as well. And he's the younger man. He's the stronger man. You can argue. I mean, I know he's had more fights, Parker, but on the big stage, yeah, Parker's had some big fights against the likes of Joshua and stuff like that. But for a 26, 27-year-old guy, you could argue Dubois got more big level experience than what Parker has been in. Joshua at Wembley, Usyk in front of 50,000.
No, he
Then he's had
didn't beat
fight.
Usyk though, did he?
He didn't know, but it's obviously it when you're 24, when you whatever you were 25 at the time, that only shapes you as a fighter to be taking fights like that as a young heavyweight as well. And it all adds to that experience. He went in with a guy who is head and shoulders above the rest. And there's a lot of controversy over that fight. I thought it was a low blow personally,
Same,
but
yeah.
there's a lot of people that think it were a legit knockdown and Usyk milked it. So that's gonna, just because of that, there's people going to want to see that. There's going to be demand to see that fight again.
Yeah,
Obviously,
but Usyk, when Usyk got back up, he controlled the rest of the fight.
he did control it, and I mean, he took
And other
he hit
than
him with a
that, he was
jab.
pretty much in control of the fight.
It was. I mean, the stoppage as well. He took a jab and he went down and took a knee, which I thought he could have got up from. To be
And
honest with you,
people question Dubois' heart as well, which I can see because Joyce, well, his eye
they do.
socket was broken, and the Usyk one.
Yeah, I could, and the question against Lorena as well when he took them knees
Yeah.
and stuff. But in his last 3 fights against Miller, especially against Ergovich, where he walked through fire all night that night, he took some big shots against Joshua, and he came back firing as well. I think he's turned the corner now. I think they've got through to him mentally, And I'm gonna. Is you can't back against the boy not after them recent performances, and they've all been by stoppage as well. I think he's going to carry too much firepower for Parker.
And I think as well, I'm saying Daniel to buy around eight in this eight.
Yeah, I can see him stopping him as well. To be honest with you,
Are you sort of saying
mid.
similar, or are you saying
I'd say
early?
I'd say similar. I'd say
Seven,
I'd
eight.
say 7, 8 rounds. Yeah, I can see a stoppage. Yeah, but it depends how fast he comes out as well. If he comes out fast like he did against Joshua, it could be an early night. It just depends how he starts.
Yeah, and I think Parker also perhaps might need to be maybe a cautious start and then see how read it with your jab, but see how it goes. I think so
Yeah,
we're both favouriting thinking Dubai wins that one. A good fight as
yeah,
well. Now the
yeah.
main event we disagreed with it last time. I think we might disagree with it again, I'm not sure. Beterbiev v Bivol for all the marbles at light heavyweight. Who've you got for this one? And break it down for us.
Bivol on points. I think. I thought last time he just nicked it, but he threw it away at times when he let Beterbiev work. Now, Beterbiev, I think before that fight were made, I said to you as well, I once sold on him. He struggled with guys like he struggled with Yarde and stuff, and I thought just Bivol's the master boxer. He's not a massive puncher. Bivol started off so well that night, in the
He
fight. He
did.
was controlling it with the range, but he let him come in. Now I think he's going to correct his mistakes this time. Beterbiev is tailor made for somebody like Bivol, who's got that natural that boxing ability. He's got great feet. He's in and out. The combinations he can throw. He just ain't got that real punch power as Bivol. And when you're somebody like Beterbiev, if you haven't got that punch power, he's not going to respect you, and he's
I
just going to
wouldn't
walk.
say he's tailor made though for him.
I think his style. I think I don't think Beterbiev's got good feet. He's not. His footwork is not.
Nah, but it'll be on you though. He's always on you. He don't.
That's the
And
thing.
even in the first fight, even when Bivol was having those moments earlier on and keeping
He
him,
threw it
he
away.
was
But
still on his chest though, and
yeah,
he kept going, and
he's all.
eventually
He's
Beterbiev
always.
took over.
He's always on you. But Beterbiev he's got the style and the angles to be able to deal with that. He let him in at times, and he knows he threw that fight away for me. And I think this time he corrects it, and then there'll be a third fight.
You did, yeah, but I'm thinking it'll be the same. I think they'll both up their game. It'll be. I think they'll both up it, but Beterbiev, I just think will be a little bit better than him again, and eventually he might start slow because he does tend to start a bit slow, Beterbiev, but he
Yeah,
always is there, and he won't even. He'll be 11 rounds down, but he'll still be in. Even if he's 11, 10 rounds down, 9 rounds down, he'll always be on the front foot, and I don't think Bivol will have. I don't think that Beterbiev will respect Bivol's power. I think Bivol will be on the move and he'll be real sharp. But Beterbiev, even though I wouldn't say he didn't hurt Bivol in the last fight, but he was still landing the harder and the better shots and the more eye-catching shots in the first fight. That I still think the later stage of the fight just nicked it in Betbiev's favour.
yeah. I still think Bibble puts it right this time and wins a close decision.
And I can see Beterbiev improving on the success he had last time, and I can see him eventually cutting the ring off and catching Bivol. And I think I said it last time as well. I said round 10, but I'm more confident that Beterbiev wins this time than the last time.
Well, I'm opposite me. I'm confident Bivol does it on points this time.
Well, we'll soon see. That's the thing with predictions. Everyone has an opinion. We'll see.
Yep.
We'll see who's right. And yeah, as always, Dan, thank you for
Yep.
your time. And yeah, I'll enjoy the show.
No worries. Catch up with you soon, bud. Cheers,
Thank you,
mate.
mate. Bye.